Good evening, all. Myself, Meghna Balaji from the team of Know Your Calling KYC, and today I have with us Dr. Sreehari Anil. Sir has done his MBBS from Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi, and is currently pursuing his MD General Medicine from AIIMS, Raipur. Hearty welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Uh, And sir is here today with us to give insights about every questions to be answered about MD General Medicine. So let's start. Sir, my first question to you is, could you give us a brief introduction about medicine?
General medicine, to introduce this, I think all the undergraduates are already introduced into this subject from their starting. That's the one good thing about it. Because from the second year itself, we get the clinical posting in medicine. So, medicine is not a branch new to us. But it is. I would summarize my branch as uh, an option to inculcate all the things that we study from our first to the fifth year in our undergraduation in different lengths. When everything is inculcated to our practice, maybe then we can call it general medicine. So this is the branch, how I look at my branch.
So my second question to you is, how about the life of a resident in general medicine, sir?
So the life of a resident in medicine, with time, it gets lighter and more interesting. The branch. So like the clinical residency in medicine, like I told, because from the UG undergraduate, from the final year, from the third year, because we have a hold of the subject. So in medicine, the first year is supposed to do most of the ward work and all the work in the emergency, because even when we come in medicine, it is more about the taking history and instituting the treatment, and the procedural aspect would be limited, like a pleural tap or an ascitic tap, which we even do in internship. So the most hectic part of medicine will be your first year as a JR, because everything in and out you should be doing. Every treatment decision, you will be taking most of the treatment decision, and few things which you will start doing in the second year will be the central line and hemodialysis catheters. But even in my institute, I had started inserting these in my first semester itself. So next, this is how a first year is supposed to look, but that is not so grim, because if you can you it's difficult to find time for your time to even sleep adequately, like 6 hours, or difficult to eat in time. But once you tide through this first year, if it will be first semester in the central institute, 6 months, or first year, slowly medicine really gets interesting, because by the second year, we will be supposed to take the rounds of our patients and look at 10 to the difficult cases. Then by second year, some will have specialty postings in second year, some will have in third year. So in second year, we'll be having the window to the specialties. Since most of us will be interested in specializing, few of us are even even will be trying to limit ourselves to medicine due to the vastness and the charm of the old parent subject. So still, because specialties will go and get to learn their guidelines and their procedural aspects. So slowly, second year and third year medicine really becomes interesting. So by third year, the problem solving aspect, reading up to solve the problems of difficult to diagnose cases, all of that fun starts slowly once you come out of the first year. And as for the first year, I'm not really saying it's a grim thing. For me personally, even in first year, the first 2 or 3 months was really hard. Like at that time, I had thought about shift switching to a easier branch. But even in first year, once I got a hold of the difficult procedures like intubation, central line by myself, then slowly I knew that I was able to manage the entire ward by myself. Then slowly, even in first year, although I had to work too much, But by third, fourth month, I was comfortable even in the first year. So it's not like first year is very grim for medicine resident. First 2 months or 3 months will be difficult. After that, the journey is really fun.
And my next question to you is things you love about being in your specialty, sir.
Uh, the re, for Personally, the reason why I took medicine is because I like the problem solving aspect of it. So in medicine, mostly we are looking at patients who are presenting to us, whom we have to give a diagnosis. So many diagnoses are really easy and straightforward, but there will be that occasional three or four patient in the ward which you have to think through in every aspect. Even though you will be heavily investigating, still you have to think, what else can I go back and ask in the history. So you will be actively engaging with that patient, and for that you will have to read, you will have to go back and read again, you will think with your batchmates, with your seniors, and discuss with them. So this problem solving aspect of medicine is what I was interested in the final year itself, and still that interest is inbuilt with me till now. So this is the reason why I took this subject. And again, like I told, medicine will help you to inculcate all the learning that you did from first year to fifth year. Somehow you will have to even inculcate. Even anatomy I had to read just now, because there was a patient who came with sudden onset lower limb weakness. So again, you have to go back to the lower limb muscles, the lower limb nerves. So after like 1 year, I again went back and read core anatomy to solve that part, and still I enjoyed again reading the anatomy part. So another branch which I think links many subjects like this is radiology. Radiology has to talk with a gynecologist, with an orthopedician, with a medicine person. A similar branch will be radiology, but then medicine will give you the chance to practice it at the bedside, and radiology will obviously have the slight distance from the patient, although some doctors will also like being a radiologist and sitting comfortably and solving problems. Depends on your take.
And nextly, what are the cons about being in your specialty, sir?
The cons about being in my branch, of course, the like I told you initially, you have to tide through your first year residency. It will be difficult. So one that was the only difficulty that I had in this branch. Otherwise, personally, for me, if you make through your first year, and if you get a hold in your first 3 4 months, that period will be really difficult for you and challenging for you that time. So this is the main reason. Even my many juniors would consider me, myself, and my juniors at different points of time have considered switching to radiology, switching to dermatology. It is at that point of time when it will be occasionally with it there will be difficulty during the procedures, and at that time you may be alone. Then may feel vulnerable. At that time you will have to wait for the senior. That is a time in the initial 1 2 months, and at that time, to look at 10 to so many patients in India, of course there is no dearth of patients. So
Hmm.
in our initial part, when we are just joining and we are just 2 months into it, so we cannot look at all these patients together and treat them, and think and treat so very fast or efficiently like I am doing in second year or third year. So at that time, even doing treating one simple patient with one EC diagnosis will take time, and because we are just picking up. But even at that time, we will have to do the bulk of the work. So first year, first year is one difficult time. During the first year is one con of the medicine, because I have seen people leave medicine in the first 2 3 months. So you have to decide, you have to mentally decide ki, you have enough stamina to tide over that. And to tide over the difficult part in first year is very simple. Even irrespective of the branch, like it can be gynecology, it can be surgery. First year is difficult. So just the simple formula to tide over is that you take medicine if you are interested in medicine. So if you were interested in some other branch, then you get a fantastic rank. Then medicine and radiology starts opening up, right? And then you take medicine, then you might find it slightly difficult to tide over that stress period. But if you were decided from the initial itself, if you were coded for medicine, like they say, no, when initially when I got my rank, I was getting pediatrics in PGI Chandigarh. So I asked Deepak Marwa sir, can I take pediatrics? So that was Marwa sir's simple advice. If you were coded for pediatrics, then you would have thought about pediatrics before writing the exam. So before writing exam, because I was thinking of medicine, he told go forward and take medicine. So this is the only con, and other cons, just to summarize in very short way. Even being second year and third year, you will have sick patients, right? And you will have sick patients, and you may have to tend to them till beyond your time. You won't have easy weekends. Not like Saturday, may you can come back to room at one at afternoon. Even in Saturday till like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, when I'm in ICU, I might have to stay. Very difficult cases. Even beyond my duty, I have stayed till 4 hours also to stabilize that patient. So that I'm able to manage because I enjoy my branch. So if it's a lighter branch, then obviously you can exactly come back to room at time. Mostly the imaging branches, the teaching branches, and the lighter clinical branches. If it's still 1 o'clock, you can come back at 1 o'clock because you know the patients will be stable. So, and even when you come back, if it's a difficult case, or it was a patient whom you lost the battle while trying to save them, even that part even might linger in our mind even when we come back in home. These are a few cons to say, but because I like my branch, I took it. So I am not bothered about these things, because even if I have to stay back, I still stay back and find excitement in solving the difficult cases and stabilizing the patient.
Well said, sir. And how about the type of personality who should be choosing general medicine, sir?
uh, Type of personality, actually, if I'll summarize, because there is specialties in medicine. So medicine is like when you come back to 12th standard, again there is so much opening up in medicine. Now there are so many SS seats, so getting into SS is not difficult. So medicine, either you can stay back in medicine, or you can go to teaching in medicine. Teaching is a very celebrated part of medicine, because in medicine you are able to teach the students. So who wants to get to teaching job? Medicine is good for them. And who wants to be a problem solver? There's diagnostic medicine. It's good for them. Then those who wants procedural aspects, even it's medicine is for them, because uh, yes, of course it's not like surgery, but after specializing you have procedural specialties like gastroenterology. They are completely dependent on the procedures and the diagnostic aspects. So, and those who want to even lead a derma life, I say ki even if you want to lead a life in which your patients are stable and you can have enough time for yourself and your family. Even there's endocrinology. Rheumatology and endocrinology are branches which don't have emergency or very sick patients. So you just have to tend to the OPD and stable patients in your ward, and you can come back at your regular time like the other branches do, like dermatology and radiology. So even after entering medicine, it's not like yeah, now you have to work for your entire life. No, medicine is having light branches like infectious disease rheumatology, in which and endocrinology, in which you can come back. So medicine is for all personalities. Because there is these mini surgical branches like cardiology, in which you will be mostly in the cath lab and tending to the patients and doing procedures. So those who want to be adventurous personalities, there is cardiology. Those who have to sit back, lead a peaceful life, and think, there is endocrinology. And so I can't say specifically tell which personality trait will suit medicine.
And the type of personality who should be rejecting the branch.
uh, one one thing, the first part is, again, those who want, who are decided from the start that they won't be able to stand hardships. So medicine, even after first year, like, I gave a short insight into how a first year's life is, but even after that, when there are difficult cases, you may have to sit back beyond your time, and there might be difficult patients also who, uh, counseling might become difficult, but we know that e- uh, every disease cannot be easily treated. Many diseases are really morbid and we lose patients. So in that, there are many times that, even though we counsel the patient from the start, we may have to still face agitations from the attendants. So these are few parts which is there in medicine, you cannot deny it. In such aspect, radiology is good, dermatology is good, because in that, the patients will be stable, or you will be helping the clinicians with the patients, you don't have to interact. So just the personality traits which which may find it difficult is, if you want a peaceful life, and from agitation, and occasional agitation, I will tell, not regular, but occasionally unavoidable agitation if you don't want. And second, in that first 5 months, if when really sleep and your uh, daily timings would be just hayway, and even you will find it difficult to eat. That 4 5 months, those who will know that they themselves will have difficulty in managing, because in the first sem itself, in lighter branches, it's really easy. In lighter branches, even you are first sem, second sem, it's easy to adapt. So only that part will have difficulty in medicine. Otherwise, others, everyone can adapt slowly. All the personality traits will be easily able to adapt.
And regarding the settlement, what is the average number of years required to settle having a person taken MD General Medicine?
You can, it will be very easy, because in MD General Medicine, the you just have to do an SR ship, and even that is not really compulsory. I have seen many seniors who join before doing SR ship itself. So in medicine, many states will obviously have bond in which you have to do SR ship. You don't have any option. But then there are states in which bond is not there. When we're doing SR ship will be optional. But just 2 years of SR ship will be really enough for giving you experience to settle. So settling in medicine is not very difficult. There's not a big learning curve. Even after, like, now I'm a trainee, I have done 1.5 year in medicine. So OPD and the basic cases, unless it's really complicated, I'm able to manage by myself itself. So the learning curve is not very difficult in medicine, unlike the procedural part. So in medicine, once you do the SR ship for at least 2 years, it won't be really difficult to settle anywhere.
And having a person taken MD General Medicine, how should he settle in a big city or a small city or in a town? How will the comparison be?
That's the good thing about medicine. Actually, you can settle anywhere. In medicine, you just need a clinic and chair and table, and you can lead your life very easily. So with just general medicine, you can open your own clinic even in your small town or village, and you can easily lead a respectable life. And obviously, there will be super specialties. Those who want to go to super specialties, so then they will have opportunities even in the big towns, in the big cities. Of course, I haven't seen the competition myself because I'm just a student. But from what I have heard, it's now becoming a rule that you have to specialize if you want to exist in cities. So that maybe depends on the person, because if it depends on how you carry out your post graduation. Even in the post graduation, if you actively publish and research and you have documents under your name, then even with MD medicine, it will be difficult right now, considering the volume of people who take up medicine. But if you publish enough and if you do research activity and you have academic activity in your bag, then you can enter with general medicine as a teaching job in government hospitals as an assistant professor. So it doesn't mean like in without medicine you are without specialties you cannot survive in medicine. Even private hospitals keep general physicians. So it all depends on you, how you carry out your post graduation. So in big cities, yeah, it might be true that without specialization, you might find it difficult. But again, if general medicine will allow you to settle down for towns and the smaller cities, definitely there is always scope for a general medicine physician. And cities may be saturated with senior general medicine physicians in private and government, but otherwise, everywhere there's an opportunity for a medicine physician, either super specialized or not, as much as I see it.
And should a person go for a government or corporate or a personal setup?
Uh, See, this depends really on what we want. In government, mostly people go because they want to go teach students. Uh, if you want to teach students, medicine is really a good branch because there is so much cases and so much in every case there is so much to teach. So if you are really about teaching and you want to research, you want to publish and add to the medical literature, that is when you will think about going into the government. And second reason why, if you want to go to government, is for obviously the volume of patients who you will be attending will be very large, and the patients, most of the patients won't have the ability to get treated in a higher center. So you will be tending to those patients. And otherwise, in a corporate setup, you will have the comfort because you will have all the medications. The staffing will be adequate, and the for that part, and the you can take corporate. And if you are really want to do job in medicine and not teaching and research activity, then corporate setup is good for you. But that depends on the person after completing medicine what he wants to do. But before choosing branch, I don't think you need to consider about that part, okay, whether I should go to corporate or government. One small thing that you might think for your you might decide is, if, do I want to go to teaching? In that case, you can take medicine and then you can go to government setup. And of course, there are private colleges also. Now there are also private colleges opening up, and it's very easy to find as post as assistant professor in private colleges because there are enough seats and opportunities. Our old government colleges are always saturated with the professors unless they retire till by 65 age. But there are enough opportunities for teaching also, both in again private sector and government.
And how about the monetary aspects?
Personally, I haven't looked up into the monetary aspect, so it will be difficult for me to tell. But yeah, I am sure that you will find enough. You'll get enough income, a respectable amount of salary to comfortably lead your life, whatever specialty you take in medicine, or even if you settle with general medicine. And the money won't be a problem. Even once you enter post graduation, every branch will pay a respectable salary. So after that, slowly when you enter into SR-ship and when you become assistant professor, your pay scale will only increase. And corporate obviously pays more than government. Even being in government, I'm a resident in government medical college only, AIIMS, and in most of the government pages colleges pay enough for even the postgraduates. That is the basic salary for a medicine resident. After that, it's only supposed to increase. So in monetary aspect, I won't. I cannot tell the exact amount what branch will pay or which specialty will pay, but whatever specialty you take, or even if you settle in general medicine, uh, you will get enough salary, and that won't never be a problem.
And how about the free time to do any other stuff, co-curricular activities, like at the time of being resident and after settlement?
And in first year, you will have time only to sleep and eat, and after first year, slowly you will start finding time. Although it's not very easy because you still will have patience and you will have to look at all of that aspects of them, but slowly you will learn to make time for yourself, and by second year or third year I have enough time for all my hobbies. My hobbies are walking and talking to my friends, and the one good thing is my hobby itself is practicing and reading medicine. So there is no border that I draw between my work and my other hobbies. So even when I find time at home, I'll be listening to clinical case discussions or reading up how difficult cases were approached. So for me, that exact border between when I'm working or when I'm relaxing, that's not there, because even when I'm going and working, it's fun for me. But otherwise, also I can tell from my other friends who have uh, who uh, who go to gyms or who love road trips. They are able to find time from the second year. After you reach second year, it's not a big problem. Although you won't have your weekend. In weekend, you won't be there for your medicine resident. Even if you're second year or third year, even in Sunday, you have to go to the ward once and look at your patients and come. So clear cut, you won't have a weekend in medicine. But otherwise, by after finishing first year, you will be able to find enough time for yourself.
And I wanted to ask about the future of scope of general medicine. Like, will it be taken out even by the other specialties, or will there be interference with the artificial intelligence?
Um, no, medicine actually, artificial intelligence cannot encroach. There is no way that an artificial intelligence can encroach, because even before taking medicine, I was fascinated by how history given by patient will give you diagnosis. And still, after 1.5 years of medicine, I still stand by what I say, that only history will lead you the path. So artificial intelligence is about the more about interpreting the labs and the imaging findings and the tests that you in patient. So artificial intelligence cannot extract out the relevant history from the patient. That only by repeated practice and the interest that you carry in medicine, you can become a better history taker every day. So even now, when I get a new patient, I will not open the investigations. I won't open the file. I'll sit with the patient and again review the history. So, and after the history, I'll have a I'll decide what direction I will have to go and what is it looking like. Is it an inflammatory process? It's a neoplastic process. Only then I will interpret the investigations. So till now, and even beyond, after many years also, whatever investigation you will bring, medicine will be about diagnosing through history. So artificial intelligence cannot replace medicine, and the role of physician will always remain throughout the years.
And wanted to know the Is super specialization a must to given the present trend after general medicine?
Yeah, that I think I had talked about it before itself. That I have heard from my seniors, although I haven't experienced firsthand myself because I haven't gone into this circle of competition. That you have to super specialize if you want to survive in cities. But again, that doesn't mean that once you super specialize, you it's an easy route for you, because in cities like Delhi, Bhubaneswar, or Kochi, even cardiologists are saturated. Even gastroenterologists are saturated. Every specialty is saturated. So that is not for medicine also. Even a gynecologist will have to initially have struggle to settle, because there will be senior gynecologist. So it's not specifically for medicine. Maybe the newer branches like nuclear medicine, there might be opportunities. But from what I heard when I was considering these branches, considering means when I got the rank, just I had asked my seniors how these branches are like. Mostly I wanted to take medicine only, but just when I asked, even the nuclear medicine and the newer branches in the big cities, even they are saturated. So it's not really a rule key. If you cannot super specialize, just don't take medicine. No, it's not a rule. Even in general, it depends on how you perform in those 3 years of residency. Like I told before also, you have to interact with your professors. When you work up the difficult cases and diagnose, you have to find time to write up and publish them. So when your academic activity is strong, and when you have enough research and publishing under your name, so even with general medicine, you can find a place in teaching institutes, or whenever you have a interview, or when you give a resume. So if, I don't say ki, you have to specialize. It's not a rule, and you can do very well with general medicine. Even after specialization, again, it depends on how you did your specialization for third year, for the 3 years of DM. Because if you want to settle in a city like Delhi or Mumbai, even cardiologists are there in plenty. So it doesn't mean that if you take cardiology, you can easily settle in Delhi. So there is nothing like you have to specialize in medicine or that opportunities are less. It's only about how you perform in those 3 years. If I look at how medicine is in the two main groups of colleges, so one we have the state colleges, the other we have central institutes. So the patient load in central institutes will be less, because in central institute you have to take as much, only as many patients as the beds that your department is having. So while taking your branch, you just have to choose between in state colleges, there will be a greater exposure because there is no limit to how many patients will be taken. So after an emergency day, because I had done my undergraduation in a state college, Maulana Azad Medical College, Delhi. So the number of patients who will be taken will be huge. Like in the male side and in the female side, in every unit, I think there will be some 50 females and some 70, 80 males patients. And during dengue seasons, that will go to even 100 male patients. The With respect to medicine, of course, when taking medicine, you have two routes. Either you will be taking medicine through the INI-CET or through NEET. So INI-CET will give you opportunity to enter the central colleges, and NEET will be for the state colleges. So in how medicine is practiced, I think there is those difference between the central institute and state colleges. In state colleges, it will be about the volume of patients you will be attending. So, in my previous undergraduation college, Maulana Azad Medical College, I have seen volumes of patient coming. So, maybe there will be 6 units, and in the ward of every unit, there will be about 650 female patients and 80 male patients admitted. Even though bed will be not as many, patients will be like two per bed or something. So, the number of cases that you will be tending to in state colleges will be enormous. So by tending to those cases, the exposure you will caseload and exposure you will get will be enormous again in subsurgeon, and this is how what our professors also say, because I'm in AIIMS Raipur, it's a central institute, but all our professors are from the state colleges like Banaras Hindu University, Safdarjung. So what they say is, with so much volume, they would have seen every case and like every presentation of every disease. But the issue with that is the problem will be with the management. With so much volume, you won't be able to completely work up a patient and manage. But definitely the number of diseases and the number of presentations you will be seeing will be more in a state college. Then will come the central institutes. In central institute, like in AIIMS Raipur and all the other central institutes. So the number of beds that will be available will be limited, and you will be admitting only the number of patients according to the beds. So so many patients you won't be seeing, but then the advantage is that every patient who is admitted will be worked up in and out. So the learning per patient will be more, as per se, for every patient you will be working up the patient in and out entirely, and you will be learning from the start till the discharge more about, more about the patient. So there is not really much difference between the how medicine is there in the central institute or the state colleges when it comes to the basic part, but the two patterns that I told, this is how it will be different. And in Central Institute, one more thing is that you will be more easily interacting with the specialties, because in state colleges, I have seen that the specialties will be in a separate block altogether. So it's difficult to interact with the cardiologist and gastroenterologist. But in my institute, whenever we have any doubt or whenever the case becomes difficult, we just have to just call the nephrologist or the cardiologist, and they're easily available. And and they and one more good thing is, because due to so much healthy interaction with these specialties, we learn about these aspects like hemodialysis line insertion and this bedside 2D cardio 2D echo in the first or second year itself before the specialty. I have my specialty hasn't started, but because Central Institute have these bedside machines, ultrasound machines, and we have the cardiologist, we interact with the cardiologist on daily basis. So we get to learn about these things. So that's what I told. In Central Institute, per patient, the learning will be enormous, and in state colleges, the patient load will be enormous. So both will have their own benefits.
Wanted to know if you have any special message for the aspirants.
Uh, the message for the aspirants is, you just ask yourself like which branch you want before even listening to all the talks about how a branch is can be before that, but personally, because you have done your entire undergraduation, so first you ask yourself, is there any specific branch which I am built for, and for which calling is coming from inside myself itself. So if there is that branch, then you can listen to the talks specifically how that branch pans out later. And what I feel is, what if you are undecided about a branch, then you can obviously uh, listen to the talks of all the branches and decide. But if there is some calling coming from inside before you gave the exam and before you got this rank, if that calling says surgery, before in the UG itself, there was a calling that I want to be a surgeon. Even in the internship, you enjoyed the minor OT procedures for surgery. Later, when you get a rank, which is suiting medicine or radiology, that calling coming from inside, you have to trust that part, because the post graduation is about making through your difficult phase again. Like I said, first year. So when even if you have a good rank, like if you got a fifth rank, but from inside you know that you want to be a gynecologist or you want to be a surgeon. So you trust that part inside you, irrespective of the rank that you're getting. Even in my batch, when I saw the ranks which were taken, there was a 30th rank or 25th rank. That person took AIIMS Delhi, community medicine AIIMS Delhi, and I'm sure that patient will be happy. Despite rank 25, that he can get, he or she can get radiology or medicine in whatever institute they want. But that person went forward to take community medicine. That was really fascinating, and I'm sure that person will be happy. So before taking the brand, just ask yourself, and if there is something that you had decided in final year itself, listen to those videos particularly. And if you are still more getting pulled into that subject, go forward and take that subject irrespective of your rank. And if otherwise, if you are in that group
That
who
is
were
it.
really, if you were really undecided, then definitely you can listen to all the options. And all the branches have their own their benefits, starting from anatomy, even anatomy, biochemistry. These are also amazing subjects from with which you can enter into teaching, and they will you can do good work even in every anatomy, biochemistry. So all branches have their own benefits, and uh, even when you get a good rank, you have to explore all the possibilities. Even before taking medicine, I had talked with my seniors how it is like to be in community medicine, in nuclear medicine. And after talking, then I came back to medicine because I knew I wanted to take medicine in final year itself.
Yes, sir. That is it for today. And you answered all the questions with utmost patience. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.